Rev up your engines!
Well, it goes on with Hertz, arresting people who have legally rented cars. Now there's a woman who not only was she arrested once for supposedly stealing a car she had rented, but she's been arrested a total of 4 times. And she says that she was pregnant the last time, had a miscarriage when she was in jail. And of course, they're suing the heck out of Hertz. The woman was held for days at a time in jail, and she was one of those Hertz special customers. That's how they treat their special ones. She reserved it ahead of time. If you ever used Hertz, you can reserve it ahead of time. You just go and jump in, take the car, right? So since she was a platinum member, when she went to rent her car, the guy says, you can't rent that car. She says, I'm a platinum member. I'm renting a car. Now, this was 2018 in October, and she had rented cars from Hertz over 20 times before. Employee came up and said, hey, you can't take that car. She said, I've reserved. I'm a platinum member. Took off. Well, the guy called the police, and she was arrested. Now, she was arrested 3 more times because she didn't show up to court dates, and she said she wasn't notified of the court dates. Who knows what's going on there? You can't just, oh, I wasn't notified. I've seen that from people all the time. Oh, it's like the check is in the mail, and they never put the check in the mail, right? But be that as it may, she was illegally arrested. They said she spent 9 days in jail for each occasion, which kind of makes me wonder, something's fishy on both sides of this one. That's the problem with a lot of media, is they take one thing and they slant it and they don't show you the whole truth about that thing. Why on earth would you spend 9 days each time in jail? That to me sounds bizarre. Now, Hertz tries to say that all this stuff happened before their bankruptcy, not after, because of course, once a company's bankrupt, you can't re-sue them in the past, right? A lot of people claim no, they've still been arrested after they went bankrupt, so the new Hertz, whatever that is going to be liable for what's going on. So, as I said, you got to look at both sides, too. You'd think after the first one, you'd kind of look into it a little bit, So, as usual in our legal system, as crappy as it is, your best bet is to stay out of the legal system and not get involved in it at all. Because if you do, you're going to find that it's kind of sleazy on both sides. It's not, there's an honest person here and a crook over there. You don't want to get involved. You want to just settle things amicably among regular people and not get lawyers and judges involved, because then it raises the ante and then everybody starts lying to cover their own heinies to try to win. Hertz saying, well, that only occurred before we were bankrupt, and then a person saying, well, I was never notified. Who knows what the truth is? Other than the woman was actually arrested the first time for sure. Joe Petuno says, will newer cars run after an electromagnetic pulse causing a grid shutdown? Well, we're talking about nuke war, huh? They probably wouldn't, because they have so many computer modules. Some cars have over 100 separate computer modules. And if that pulses fries the computers, that car's never going to start again. It's not like the old days where they had mechanical points and condensers that magnetic wave would shut them off while they're driving, but then they'd start up later. No, the modern ones have so many computers. We had a lightning strike when I was in Tennessee, real close to our house, right? It fried my router. I had to buy a new router. And interestingly enough, it also fried the charger. I had a solar charger in my Celica in the window of the car, and it fried it. And that's not even plugged into the grid. It was just enough power that went through the air. The lightning was so close that it fried, and I had to get another charger for it because it didn't work anymore. So modern cars have so many computers, stuff's going to knock them out, probably permanently. King Kank says, Scotty, why are modern GM vehicles such piles of crap? I owned a Buick Encore for 6 months and put over $3,000 on it, so I sold it. The best thing I've ever done. It's a corporation. They only care about profits. Now, years ago, I'm talking about decades and decades ago in the past, after the dinosaurs roamed the earth, but still a long time ago, GM was known as making about 25% better cars than Ford. GM did a little study, said, hey, look, why are our cars 25% better made than the Ford? And the GM guys came to the conclusion, well, we spent 25% more money building the thing. So what was their solution? Well, we'll spend the same amount of money that Ford spends, 25% less building them. The quality went, right? Corporations want to do one thing, make money. They don't care about quality. They don't care about anything. Look at GM. A bunch of their stuff's made in Mexico now. They're paying people, some of them $6.85, not an hour. $6.85 for a 12-hour work shift for all 12 hours. 50 cents an hour or something. So the quality's going to be, what do you think, you're going to get quality from that? Of course you're not going to get quality. And of course, they're a corporation. They're dead from the neck up. Couldn't help but laugh. I saw the thing, their CEO, that woman, Mary, whatever her name is, she said, you have to come to work now. The white-collar workers have to come to work and show up at work. And then they all whined. She said, oh, no, not yet. Oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings. Well, that's the kind of company it is. So, yeah, you were smart. You got rid of it. And anybody out there, if you're smart, don't buy one in the first place. People are nuts. They don't know what they're doing anymore. They've lost their minds. They want to feel good. They want to be a PC car company. Hey, I want a car that lasts. I don't care what the person's philosophy is who's building the car, as long as they build it correctly. I drive Japanese cars. I'm not enamored by Japanese, but they make the best cars. When I was young, I had a German car. Back then, in the 60s, they made pretty good cars. I don't care about the person that's making it, as long as they do a good job. What they do when they're not building cars, I really don't care. Amo says, Scotty, I bought an 03 Matrix, 65,000 miles. Is it okay to change the transmission fluid? Sure. It's a Toyota. Just use the Toyota fluid. Just get the little drain bolt, drain it. Whatever comes out, measure it. Put the same amount back in. Go to the Toyota dealer, wherever, buy the Toyota fluid. You want the same fluid, so it mixes, right? And it doesn't screw around. So do that. It's a Toyota. You can do it now. That's not that many miles, and it's a good idea to do it. All fluid gets dirty over time. Gerald Goodyear says, how much is Toyota paying you? They're not paying me anything. They don't even give me free cars to test out, because they don't like what I say either. I say the truth. They've made mistakes. They made mistakes like anybody else. But, of course, it's corporations, so if I say things about them that's bad, they're not going to like me, right? I just tell people the truth about what's going on. Toyota isn't paying me a penny. My Toyotas, I paid for them with cash because they don't break much. If they started to break, I would buy a different car. But they last so long. If they last 20, 30, 40 years, I don't have to buy another car. So I'm happy. I don't like wasting money. I'm a cheapskate. And I'm also a mechanic. So what do I want to do in my spare time? Work on my own car? No. I want to do something else. Ride around on motorcycles. Go swimming. Go sail in the ocean. See the grandkids. Whatever. I don't want to spend it fixing a car. That's why I have Toyotas. Noah's got a Lexus, you know? If they made motorcycles, I'd buy a Toyota motorcycle. They don't, but it's a different story. Motorcycles are toys anyway. Coolman63 says, what do you think of Russian cars? Not that much. They make junky little Ladas and all that crap, right? Even the Russians don't really buy the things anymore. They had to buy them in Russia when it was communist because it was the only car they could buy that they made, and it would take them years to get one. So it's better than walking. So, oh my Lord, I love it, right? Let's face the facts. Even the Russians, they're all driving around in Japanese cars. Take a look what they're riding in. Mercedes, the rich ones, and Bentleys, and a lot of millionaires there from the oil business, but their car businesses never was much. I mean, they didn't make little puddle jumper stuff. They weren't known for making good cars. The Russians don't make much of anything. It's a service-based economy. I had a relative that did economic business over there. So he told me, he said, hey, it's all oil business. They don't make anything. They buy things from all over the place. They're extremely rich people or poor people. And there's hardly any middle class in Russia at all. So I feel sorry for the Russians, you know. Hey, and they don't make very good cars. They obviously don't make very good tanks either. They all seem to be blowing up because the idiots built them with self-loading. They got rid of the loader to save a guy. We only need 4 guys. You don't need 5 guys anymore. The loader's gone. Instead, there's a loading ring of shells that automatically feed into the cannon. So when our missiles come up and land down on the top of the tank turret, they blow it up, and then all the shells explode, and then that's why all the tops fall off, and they all get killed. If you don't make good tanks, there's no hope in making good cars. Ted Raver says, Scotty, how does one get an appointment with you to look over a car? I got a 19 Civic EX Turbo. I think it may have been wrecked at some point. Well, if you are anywhere near Portsmouth, Rhode Island, I'm here for the next 2 months. Just get a hold of me. Scotty Kilmer, gmail.com. Set up an appointment. I check them out Monday through Friday. And I'll give you the truth about them. I'll make a video about it to show the rest of the world. I'm here to help everybody up. Now, if you're closer to Tennessee, well, I'm in Tennessee starting in December. So I'll be back there then. I flip back and forth where the grandkids are. Yeah, I like it because I get to help out people in the middle of America, then on the East Coast, and I get all over the place. And I meet interesting people, and everybody needs help with their cars because, let me tell you something, the automotive repair industry is one of the most crooked industries out there. To make money charging for stuff. Today, a guy came with a Range Rover. He took his Range Rover to the Range Rover dealer, right? They had to do some warranty work. And then they said, well, by the way, your tires are worn. We need tires, and we got to do a front end alignment, right? He had just bought the tires 5 days before. There was nothing wrong with them. They just were out there to rip them off. So the less we get ripped off, the happier everyone is going to be. And I like helping everybody in Rhode Island. So if you're near Rhode Island, get a hold of me. Brian Martin says, whiskey or scotch? Neither. I like rum. I don't drink that much of it now, but I like a good quality rum, not this, junk they sell at the liquor store, the cheap stuff. I like quality stuff. The best rum I ever had was from the British Virgin Islands, the island of Tortola. Dread-headed guys were making it 200-something years I've been making it. It was like $8 for a bottle of it. It was unbelievable. Even my wife drank it straight, and she's not a drinker at all. If rum is made in a small local place, it can be phenomenal. Big ones, they just use molasses. They don't use sugar cane. It's a giant process in big vats, and they just taste like rocket fuel. It doesn't have that much of a great flavor to it. So I like rum if it's really good, expensive rum. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.